that was a Dragons of Tarkir draft, so that was very shortly after we started playing.
Right, and I beat somebody who'd been playing for years and years. That's incredible. Was I good pretty quick?
I guess.
He said I guess. But I fought it every step of the way. I was like, I'm not gonna play it. And then I had to convince him to reorder it on Amazon because he canceled the order. And I was like, I'm so sorry.
Well, when someone berates you that much about a gift, you cancel it.
So there was a sliding doors moment where Jon almost would have canceled it, and if he had canceled it, then we wouldn't even be here today. That's amazing.
Right. Yeah. Thank goodness that you're a stable, awesome human being.
How did you guys initially meet, and what was that interaction like?
Ooh.
How long is this podcast? The first text was, "So you are ridiculously hot," and this was probably 3 a.m.
Hello, and welcome to Humans of Magic. This week, we're trying something a little different. We've got the first wife-husband joint interview with the incredible Jamie, Topples, and Jon Rigatti. They are absolutely a force to be reckoned with, so much energy, and I had so much fun chatting with them. Jamie is one of the fiercest limited players around and streams at twitch.tv/Jamie Topples. Jon is a wonderfully funny and talented musician and was the one who taught Jamie how to play Magic. In fact, I'm wondering if the Jamie Jon series can become a regular thing for Humans of Magic. It was an absolute blast recording with them. If you dig it, please drop a comment, tweet at me, or let me know. Without further ado, please enjoy my conversation with Jamie Topples and Jon Rigatti. Jamie, Jon, how are you? How are you folks, or how are you guys doing today?
Fantastic.
Great. I'm so excited. This is fun.
Yeah. Just relax. This is just we're just talking. So
I'm not good at relaxing. I'm really not. I don't really know how to do it. Do you just do it?
Just.
I think so. It's hard. I'm actually.
How to do it?
I'm actually really. I'm pretty relaxed, but yesterday I was super stressed out, and I don't know if I can tell you this. Is it okay to tell you this?
That you were stressed?
Yeah, why I was stressed yesterday and why I'm so relaxed today.
I assume it's okay to tell us.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't know why.
It sounds super ominous. I'm sorry. No, there's nothing terrible about this revelation. I'm really relaxed today because I just feel first of all, Jon, it's great to meet you. This is the first time we've ever interacted. But Jamie, I feel really relaxed today talking to you because you just have a very awesome personality. It's whenever I hear your podcast or see your stream or see your random out of nowhere tweets, it's just kind of delightful. You just strike me as someone who has no filter, and that's really great. And so I feel that's why I'm going to be relaxed today, is because I'm not gonna be scared about what am I gonna say? What is she gonna say? And all this stuff. It's just gonna be hopefully fun. Hopefully I haven't scared you by saying all that.
You might need to be scared about what she'll say.
No. We talked about this. There's posts. We can do stuff in posts.
Yes.
Post production is magical.
That's right. It is.
Yeah. Maybe Jon can help me with that. I think, Jon, you're more a technical. You're a musician, right?
Yeah, well, musician is a strong word. I play music.
No,
and I record it.
No. You are selling yourself short.
No.
He is so talented. I'm serious. It's wild. I've gotten to hear him practice pretty much every day for 10 years.
How many instruments do you play, Jon?
I play guitar. So that also means I can play bass because they're the same. And then I sing and I play a little bit of drums, and I started learning piano at one point, but then this lovely lady peed all over it.
He's pointing to the cat, not me.
Just for the audio listeners.
So then I couldn't practice anymore because you can never really get the smell of cat pee out of things, especially a piano that's already 100 years old. So now we have this pea-soaked piano in our basement that I can't get rid of because it was my mom's piano when she was a kid, and she sounded really upset when I said I wanted to get rid of it.
Well, it is a piano now.
Yes, it is a certified piano.
I got that. I got that joke. So, Jon, you definitely are a musician. And by the way, I just asked you like an arrogant guy, like how many instruments do you play? I play 0. So I just wanted to test you. So
yeah, how many instruments do you play?
-1. Like I think I used to play the ukulele in elementary school, and I kind of gave up that
so cool.
that career. Yeah. I think I played the recorder. Is it called the recorder? I could do hot cross buns on the recorder, but that was pretty much it.
I played that on saxophone in 4th grade. That's a good one.
So don't undersell yourself. You are a musician. Like, if you can play instruments and you can create a song, which you guys have done. And Jamie, like, how musical are you? I mean, I know you've got a lovely voice, but do you also play instruments, or like do you do the harpsichord or whatever?
Well, I mean, I've been messing around on the synthesizer thingy.
I hand her the keyboard and
I
say,
just play around.
hit things.
But sometimes it works, and it's cool.
And then I say, stop hitting things, and then we're going to use these 3 notes that you played a minute ago.
So Jamie's like the DJ, right? Like, it looks like she's looking cool in the background, and there's like a whole setup, and then all she does is just press that key, and then it's like that. It's like that meme, and hyping the crowd up. Yeah.
But that's an important one, though. It is.
The hype woman is very important.
Right.
Are you classically trained in singing, Jamie? Like, your voice is pretty good.
Thank you.
She loves compliments.
Okay, for people who are listening to the audio, like, Jon just patted Jamie on the head just now. So
so like, words of affirmation, that's my love language, right? So like, when people like say nice things to me, I'm like, okay, thank you. And like, so I can't get him to do it though, ever.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
I don't speak that language.
He speaks his own love language. It's cool. It's cool.
Yeah, opposites attract.
He just tells me like that I'm difficult to work with. You know?
What? In what sense? Like, do you guys have a professional working relationship, or is it like just a music?
I don't think I've ever said that.
Well, okay. So here's the thing. When I have like, criticism's really hard for me. Like, it just sounds like it's like blown out of proportion. So like, when we're messing around making stuff, like, even if you say like the littlest thing, I'm like, oh my God, I'm terrible. Like, this is bad. I shouldn't be doing this. Like, I struggle with that a lot. But how I deal with that is like, like, I don't know. Just it's funny to have bloopers or whatever.
Are we talking about making music or what? I don't know.
No. Yes, okay. I was talking about making music with you. Oh. I am not classically trained, but when I was a kid, I was left alone a lot, and I sung and danced a lot. To Madonna was a big one. I got out fly swatters and did like a interpretive dance with them. Mm-hmm. I took oboe lessons. I took some
What is
lessons.
opa? I actually don't know what that is.
An oboe? It's
oboe.
Oboe. I'm sorry, I misheard. I heard oba. I was like, wow, is that some sort of new like alternate reality ABBA record?
Okay, wait. So I did take some singing lessons. He got me singing lessons for Christmas one year. Oh my gosh, he got me such influential Christmas presents, actually.
Yeah.
She wasn't a very good teacher.
What did you learn in those singing lessons?
That I don't breathe properly at all. She was like, "How are you alive?" Like, for real.
Okay. So she said that, like, the same sort of.
How are you literally alive?
But she wasn't good at teaching how to breathe, so like.
Right. She's just like, do it better. It's
she's like, just like, breathe more. I'm like, am I not breathing enough? I don't understand.
What's the saying? Like, those who do, those who don't do, teach? I have no idea.
And she
was a very good singer.
Yeah,
though.
she does very well, but she doesn't teach very well. It's kind of like people who are naturally good at something aren't necessarily good at teaching it because it comes to them, so they don't know how to explain the step-by-step process, how to do it for someone else. So I don't know. That's the kind of teacher she was, I guess. Here I am ripping on our poor old voice teacher who...
She's excellent. No, she was great. She's super funny, too. She helped me, like, be more confident. And that was I think that's what I need. It's hard.
Are you generally a confident person, Jamie, or not a confident person?
No, not at all.
You're a streamer. How can you not be confident? I mean, you have chat telling you how to do your thing all the time.
I don't know. I've sort of just like struggled the whole way, but like I had a lot of fun doing it because I'm just used to the struggle, I guess. Like I have so much fun, but I just like have so much anxiety. Like it's gotten a lot better over the years, and I'm definitely in a better place now. But like when I don't know how I like even got started streaming or like why I did it.
I just walked upstairs one day and you're like, I'm streaming Magic. And I'm like, okay.
But like, I can't
Surprise!
fathom why I wanted to do it. Like, I mean, I do. I know why. Do we want to talk about Magic already? Dang it.
Yeah, we should, right? I guess it is called Humans of Magic. I mean, whatever you want.
We can. No, like Magic has changed my life so much for the better. For the better.
Wait, is that how you met Jon? Like you said he taught you Magic, right?
He did teach me Magic, but that was the year that we got married, actually, 2014. Okay. Christmas, he got it for me as a present. And I don't know if you know the story, but... So
was it a secret that Jon played Magic? Like he kept it from you all these years until you got married and he was like, surprise.
Well...
Kinda. Yeah, it was a secret.
I played as a kid in like 94, 95, probably through about 97. And then I quit because I was a poor child with an allowance that couldn't support a Magic habit. Like I'm sure a lot of children out there. Plus my friends kind of stopped playing and whatever. And then one day fast forward 17 years or so, we were playing some card game with our friend. And Jamie's like, I like having cards in my hand.
I said that.
And it just, something clicked in my head like, oh, I should get Magic cards for Christmas. That might be fun to like play. So I bought dual decks, Monsters vs. Heroes, and I got like a Cons Fat Pack. And I was too excited to get them because I just remembered how much I loved Magic. So I showed Jamie the Amazon order. I'm like, look what we're gonna get. This will be a lot of fun. And she freaked out. She started crying.
I did. I was like, no.
What? Why?
I know, right?
Because you felt like you were dragged into some sort of nerd activity or what?
Yeah, she's like, that's too much money. Like, I don't want to learn something new right now. Oh, it's such a terrible
I want to
gift.
stick to singing.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So, no, it's so embarrassed. Okay, so my whole life, I just feel like I get so embarrassed because I do stuff like that. It's like, why did I do that? Yeah. Looking back, I'm just like, wow, I was such a jerk. I was like, this is the worst gift. Like, why would you get this? Like, because I thought it was like, it was going to take 4 hours to play one game, and like it was super duper complicated, and like you had to read all these cards, and it was like a freaking book on all the cards. It wasn't back then, though. It was like, it really wasn't.
Here you are after spending 8,000 hours playing Magic.
I know. It was a great
Fast forward
gift.
8,000 hours.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I fought it every step of the way. I was like, I'm not going to play it. And then I had to like convince him to like reorder it on Amazon because he like canceled the order. And I was like, I'm so sorry.
Well, when someone berates you that much about a gift, you cancel it.
So there was a sliding doors moment where Jon almost would have canceled it. And if he had canceled it, then we wouldn't even be here today. That's amazing.
Right. Like, thank goodness that you're a stable, awesome human being.
That doesn't cancel Amazon orders at the drop of a hat? Okay.
Well, then I ordered it again. I ordered something different.
The conviction is there for Magic. I love it.
Yeah. I think I just ordered the dual decks after that. I canceled the Fat Pack.
You did cancel the Fat Pack. Oh my god, there might have been lands in there.
Well, then we got a box.
Oh, okay. Then we got a box. Everything's fine.
Then we got like a bunch of holiday packs.
We did. Oh my god.
So after she got a taste for Magic, she like ran out to Target for something else, and then she calls me and she's like, "There's Magic cards here. Should I buy them?" And I'm like, "Oh no, she's hooked."
Well, okay. So I used to be an extreme couponer. Okay. Which what that really means is like your embarrassment threshold for like returning stuff is like 0, or like walking out of the store with having paid like 5 cents for like hundreds of dollars worth of stuff or whatever.
She returned a comforter that we had used for 2 years because it wasn't soft enough anymore.
It was the Bed Bath & Beyond. Okay, I don't
False
feel bad about
advertising.
it. It was not like a mom and pop store. Okay, it was like big.
It's fine. I
corporate.
mean, stick it to the man, the corporate
That's
man.
right.
It's all good. I don't.
That's why they're going out of business.
It's the butterfly effect, Topples edition. Yeah.
Oh no. Okay, so at Target, they did this thing. They always do this thing every year when holiday stuff, if it's been out for a few weeks, it starts to go on sale or whatever afterwards. So it like gets marked down to like 70% off. So I was able to talk them into getting the holiday box for like 70% off.
You negotiate that's incredible. Like you actually managed to get the price down in a
More
in a
than
retail
once.
place.
Yeah.
And this was
Have you-
it was the Cons of Tarkir holiday box. So it was like 5 packs. I don't know. She got them for like $7, and then we were pulling fetch lands.
It was great.
So you were a Magic player before becoming a Magic player, like #value. Like you just know how to get the most out of every
Definitely.
everything.
She didn't know she was a Magic player when I bought the cards for her, and then she.
Well,
slowly
I still
realized.
don't know, honestly.
Yeah.
So what was that initial experience like? Just playing Magic for the first time, Jamie? Like, did Jon teach you how to play Magic, or
He did. He taught me at our kitchen table. I was classically trained.
okay?
Yeah, it was. I loved it. I mean, right off the bat. I mean, it was very difficult. So at first, I was like, ugh. But I was like, I'm gonna learn this because I was such a jerk to him. Like, I have to give this my attention and try my best because I was such a jerk.
You were a jerk. Yeah.
Well, I paid attention though, and I got pretty good. Not right away. He let me
Jamie,
win.
did you guilt Jon into doing this today with me?
No. Mm-mm.
Okay.
No, it's
okay.
been like such a part of my journey. Like I like to share this stuff with him. Like I want him to be a part of it.
Okay. So,
For
Jon, blink twice
those-
as you're being held hostage right now. Just kidding.
For those listening, I was not put under any sort of duress to be here.
Yeah.
I did this of my
Just in
own
case.
volition.
Awesome. So how does one go from? Well, you kind of answered it. Like one day you just started streaming. Like was that the story? Like you just found like Twitch.tv one day and you just like F it. Let's just try it.
I mean, kind of, pretty much. Like I guess that's like how a lot of my big life decisions are. It's just like F it, let's try it.
That was, I think, the only time she's ever set anything up technologically by herself.
I did. I don't even know like
That's
how
a
I
lot
did
of
that.
work though to stream.
Yeah.
Like so there must have been something like really compelling you to stream.
I mean, I watched a few streams back then. Like I watched Kenji and Gabby and Marshall whenever he would stream. And I think Jamie saw that and was like, that seems fun.
Gabby's stream made me really want to stream because she just was so sweet and kind, and she always looked like she was having fun, and she just like played with her whole heart, you know. And I was like, I can do that too. I want to do that too. And her community was awesome.
Yeah,
She's great.
what was Gabby's like group called? Was she like the Brood Mother? I can't remember the name, but like
yeah.
she's very like
Vipers.
welcoming to other
Yeah, Vipers.
the
Right.
the
For that
Vipers.
card.
Ambush Viper.
That's right. Yes,
That's
Were you
her
in it?
card, right?
I was.
But you couldn't remember the name.
Okay, so I have a bad memory. I'm kind of like that. Do you watch JoJo?
I do a little bit, yeah. But
Okay, have you seen the new season?
I have not seen the new season.
okay.
Is it
Well,
good?
there's this one person who she can only remember 3 things, and as soon as there's a 4th thing, she can't remember it. I'm kind of like that. I feel like Dory.
Don't worry about it. This is the vibe that I felt when I listened to your Ponder podcast, and I was fully ready today. So
Okay,
that's
cool.
why we've got Jon here, and we've got
That's right.
you know, and yeah,
it's
you know,
great.
he's
Honestly, every
So-
day's an adventure. It's great.
just to refine this. So how did you go from playing Magic to watching Magic content? Because there's obviously a sequence, right? Like you.
I know this
Yeah.
one. I have a good answer for this. Because
Okay.
like that's what really got me into it, and that's what made me really want to like be a part of the community and stuff. Is we watched every episode of Spellslingers. Oh my gosh, did you watch Spellslingers?
I watched some episodes. I think it's the one with Day 9, and like there were some big episodes back in the day that were very influential. I remember.
This is our other cat, Giuseppe.
Oh, she's good.
He's our big boy. He's so big.
How big is he? Like how heavy is he?
He was 16 pounds the last time we weighed him, right?
I thought he was like 18. He's probably about 20 pounds.
Wow, that's a big cat.
Just like
Well, he eats all of the food from the other cats.
he's
So
bossy.
yeah.
How
We
do
can't
you
give-
how do you deal with that? Because I have that problem too. One of our cats just eats more than the other. Like,
Yeah.
I just
can't
give
really
her
discipline
secret treats,
cats.
The other one.
okay,
I feel bad.
Where there's a will, there's a way.
When you less food, because
Yeah.
then she won't eat anything. So
Right.
he's just gonna be fat, I guess.
hmm
But
destined to be.
He's really happy.
yeah, he loves
Yeah.
his kibble. I don't know. How to deprive him of that.
Is that that's the other cat in the background?
That's Francesca.
Yeah.
Oh, that was the cat at the beginning, right, Francesca?
Yeah.
Okay.
She's the tiny
Got
one.
it.
And then there's the dog right here.
That's Enzo.
Oh, Enzo's just hanging out in the back
He
of the
He
chair.
wants to be behind
he always
him.
steals my chair.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you just sit on it anyways. It's all, and then you can share. It's good.
Well, I'm just uncomfortable and he's back there doing whatever he needs to do.
He's really cute. That's what he does.
How big or how heavy is Enzo?
He's about 20 pounds too.
Okay.
But that's
So that's
the
actually
right-
nice. It's like if you it's almost like a backrest, right? It's kind of like a soft backrest. You can
He's,
kind of like
he's warm, but he's not very
Yeah.
soft.
okay, just
actually pretty
big and hard.
solid.
All right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's a solid boy.
He is. Oh my
Okay,
gosh.
so
okay,
anyways, Jamie, you were saying you got into some sorts of Magic content. You said you knew the answer.
yes. So Spellslingers, we watched like every episode, and I was like, oh my gosh, like. Okay, so I feel like I should probably say at some point I do have bipolar disorder, so I get a little bit manic from time to time, and I do believe some of that probably was a thing.
Do you think you were manic and that's when you booted up OBS for the first time?
For real, like that
Sure.
gives me like the energy to like push through any like frustration and stuff. Because back then it was like I wasn't treated for it. I was treated for like anxiety. I didn't even know I was bipolar until like 2020. That was quite an adventure, but yeah. Okay, so I think that actually is probably what boosted me into it.
I mean,
So
maybe.
Spellslingers into streaming. That was the
We
path.
also watched Walking the Plains, like every episode of it.
I can't remember if that was before or after you started streaming, though.
It was like towards the beginning, but I was like, oh my gosh, like I saw the episode with Eric and Athena Froelich, and I was like, they are so adorable. I want to be friends with them. And like, it's weird because then I actually made a podcast with Athena, and then Eric hung out in my stream a bunch,
Yeah.
Oh,
like
nice.
in the beginning.
He's really good at Hangman.
Very good at that game, yeah.
He's really really good at Hangman. You said.
We did that like between rounds because back then, like you played like in pod, and you would have time between.
Right.
Yeah.
So I would do like games like that or a draw, like Magic Cards Poorly, like yeah, it was fun.
She would do like Magic Card Hangman.
And Magic
From, like, a-
Pictionary too.
Yeah, pick a card from the set and like do Hangman with it. And Eric would get it on like 2 letters or just like no letters. Like, get out of
For
here.
real, it was really good.
What was the hardest Hangman Magic related Hangman that you did that you can remember?
Oh God, that I can remember. Come on,
Please don't say Jace. Jace. That was really
this was
hard.
very early. I've been streaming for 7 years, right? That's so weird. That's weird.
Are you one of the OGs of streaming limited?
I guess. I mean, mean, like Kenji and Gabby came before me, but she did like not just limited.
There were other people, like there are people who are gone now, like Paul Cheon, Neil Oliver, Moto Grinder was big.
Mm-hmm.
I actually was in a pod, a Storybook Brawl pod with him the other day, which is kind of funny.
There's a lot of big names in Magic who play Storybook Brawl.
Yeah. So we used to binge a lot of Magic content, and I think that's kind of what inspired her to stream. So Spellslingers, we would just, whenever we eat dinner, we watch something on TV. So at that point, we would just turn on Twitch or like turn on some YouTube video of Magic. And that was like our entertainment. Couldn't get enough of it at the time.
But okay, so I didn't go from that to that. Okay, we started at the kitchen table, and then sometime he was like, "Do you want to go try this thing? Is called pre-release." And I was like, "No, I don't want to go play Magic with people in a store. Why would I want to do that?" And then like he convinced me to. So then we went and played, and I was like, "This is great." And then he's like, "Okay, do you want to try a draft?" And I'm like, "No, like I don't want to go back there and try a draft. Like that's gonna be really hard. I think I'll do these pre-release things or whatever." But he convinced me to go, and I went, and I was so proud of myself. Okay, it was a 3-color set. It was Dragons Reforged, and we're driving, and he's like, "This is a 3-color set. Dragons Reforged, Fate Reforged, Dragons of Tarkir." Which one was it?
Dragons Reforged is coming next year. Just kidding.
Which timeline was it? No.
It was Fate Reforged.
Fate Reforged. See? Okay, but you know what? I drafted 3 colors, and I was so happy. I was like, "Look at my deck. This is awesome." And he's like, "That's banned. That's not a thing."
She drafted a shard in a wedge set.
Okay, so then, oh my gosh, do you remember Planeswalker points? And like, I love that. So that was like such a cool thing that they did that every FNM. So I was like, okay, I gotta get my points up. I gotta do this. So I was like, we gotta go every week, right? I got into it pretty quickly. So we did. We went to FNM like very frequently for a long time. And
through Ether Revolt, I think we went to FNM every week. So that's like a couple of years, I think.
Yeah, which is like unreal because I do not like to leave the house. Like there's really cool stuff to do at my house. I don't like to leave it. So the fact that I got out of the house every week to go play Magic was kind of absurd thinking back. Yeah.
What did you enjoy about actually going to the LGS to do that? Like, what was it in particular?
Well, I just met like people that I wouldn't have otherwise met who like I became really good friends with. The manager at our LGS is one of our really good friends. And yeah, I have like, there's such good stories. Like I remember there was this one like end boss, his name is Gary Gold. And I was like, oh, I'm going to get him. Like he would just beat me every time. And he was really good. And then one time I mulliganed to 4 and I beat him and I felt like, oh, like the biggest freaking hero. Like I was like, yes, got him. But I didn't say it like that. I kept that all inside kind of, but you could probably tell on my face. I was super happy.
You strike me as someone that would find it difficult to conceal her feelings on her face.
So
he was probably like, he was pretty mad actually. It was pretty funny.
We went to a friend's house to draft.
Oh no. Oh no.
And everyone's like having a couple beers, relaxing, playing Magic, laughing. And then Jamie beats our one friend and she's like, "Did I just 2-0 you?"
Oh my god. Like talking about this stuff, can I say asshole? I'm like,
you can say anything you want. This is not a kids show, so
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, like I didn't realize. I don't mean to be a jerk. Like
was that person being an ass? Is that what it was?
No.
He laughed. He thought it was hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, I just was genuinely surprised because that was pretty early. Like I felt like I improved a lot very quickly, and I know why because you're a really good teacher.
Well, that was a Dragons of Tarkir draft, so that was very shortly after we started playing.
Right, and I beat somebody who'd been playing for years and years. That's incredible. Was I good pretty quick?
I guess.
He said, I guess.
Yeah. That's a high compliment. And I
It
can
is.
I'm already putting the dots together. I like, if you're really good at just talking out loud, that makes you a good streamer, I think. I mean, I could be wrong. But
Maybe.
I'm not a streamer,
Yeah.
but I feel like that's one of the qualities that would help if you want to do it, right? Because like you have to literally talk out loud, right? So
Well, and especially at first because you don't have people watching you to like play off of, right? Like and if you want people to stay, they have to have something to get to know you. You can't just sit there and like do nothing.
yeah. So what was that initial experience like streaming? Like starting with 0 viewers? Like what was
It
that
was
like?
weird. It was weird. But like it was cool. Okay, so I started streaming. My main motivator was like I want to get really good at this game really quickly. Like I just wanted to be like the very best. So that was my motivation. I was like, I'm gonna learn a lot from people like picking apart my plays and like telling me what's up.
Yeah, I think you got smushed at FNM one week, and you're like, "I'm sick of losing.
That's right.
I want power."
That's right. Baby wants power.
Power of knowledge. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that actually was a motivator for you to stream? It was like you actually wanted to get better and play more and get...
I wanted to beat
Feedback?
up on you. Like he would beat me a lot. Like if we would play.
I still do.
Yes, but so I was so mad because he told me later on that he let me win like early on, but like he had to though, I'm sure, because it would have been so frustrating to just lose game after game after game.
Yeah, and then one time we were teaching some other friends how to play, and our poor friend was there trying to cast a creature, and Jamie's like, "Can I counter that?" And I'm like, "That's the first spell she ever cast in a Magic game."
Yeah,
You
look, they
can't
gotta
just
learn.
counter it."
No, like he's the biggest asshole. Oh my god.
So
was
John,
trying to
John, like, what's your experience? Because you said you started in the '90s and then it stopped for you for a really long time. And then, what's your relationship with Magic now? Are you an active player or?
Yeah. To be honest, Storybook Brawl has gotten my attention more recently, but
It's good.
yeah, I draft a good bit, so I don't know.
Okay.
Not quite as much.
Do you guys stream together? Is that what happens on a regular?
Sometimes.
Occasionally. It used to be more frequent. Like pretty much every time she would stream, I would come up and stream with her. But I don't know. She streams a lot more now, so I don't.
That's true.
I was going to ask what
happened.
happened. I guess Storybook Brawl and also just.
No, even before that, I kind of stopped. I mainly just do stuff downstairs and harass her from chat.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Harass is the wrong word.
Is it?
Friendly trolling.
Friendly trolling. Yeah, every Twitch chat needs that, I think.
Yes.
It just naturally devolves into that if you're not careful, from my experience. All right. So yeah, I mean, how did you go from streaming for a handful of people to growing your viewership? Like, was it like, what did you do?
Like, honestly, I don't really know. I just did it. Well, okay, so I guess December 2015 was like my first stream. So that's a year after I started playing Magic, which, like, thinking back, like, that's wild. Because, like, I was probably, like, horrible, right? And just putting that out there in front of people, my gosh. But that must have been really compelling, actually. Like, watching people learn a new game, especially a game that they really love, must be really cool.
Mm-hmm. So how you just kept plugging away at it? You just started streaming. Yeah. Is it like daily or what was the frequency?
Well, so January 2016, you can actually like look at like Twitch trackers and stuff and see stuff like this, I think.
I don't know if they go that far back.
Yeah, well, maybe.
Like the main one.
I think so, because I thought I had started in January, and then somebody's like, no, you had one in December. And I was like, okay, well, actually. Yeah.
Actually, you got fact checked.
Yeah.
But so in January, I'm just like, okay, I'm going to try and make this a thing. I'm going to stream a few times a week, every week. But I don't really know, like...
It was more like you would play Magic anyway, so you're like, why don't I just stream?
Yeah. Well, I was playing a ton of Magic. And I didn't want to just play by myself. That was another thing, too. I felt like...
Yeah, I think that was part of why you started streaming, or maybe the reason. Because I was playing on Moto, and I'm like, this is how you get better. You get a lot of reps in on Moto. And she's like, I don't want to play that. And that looks stupid.
Every step I fought it. It's so weird.
You're like, the only way I'm going to play that is if I'm streaming it. And I'm like, okay.
So did you stream Moto for a while? Like you
Yes.
streamed
Yes,
Moto,
and, like,
limited on Moto?
I did. And it took me a long time to move from Moto over to Arena because I was so hesitant to play bot drafts. I was like, that's terrible. I don't want any of that.
Yeah. Yeah, what's up with those bots? Like, they're not real.
Well, it's just like, okay, so then it becomes like really homogenized, right? Like when you have bot drafts, there's like a certain pattern to how the drafts go. And so you end up in the same decks very frequently versus like, I think it's much healthier on Moto for sure.
Well, Arena has.
But no,
people
Arena
draft,
still
yeah.
gets homogenized too because you play cross pod.
So you do the same thing on Moto.
I know, I miss pod drafts a lot.
Is that how Moto works? Like, for the record, I am extremely pro Moto. I'm also the weirdo who started playing Arena and then learned Moto and just
Why would
basically
you
stayed on
do
Moto
Yeah.
because it's
I
actually
respect that.
real magic. Yeah.
I
No offense. Sorry.
No, I know exactly what you mean, yeah.
I like Moto better than Arena, although I primarily play Arena because I'm lazy.
There's also some stuff that you have to do on Moto, right? Like if you want to play certain constructed formats that shall not be named, I guess, because everyone loves Arena and Historic and Alchemy, blah blah blah. But and also like the vintage cubes are great on Moto, right? You can't do that on Arena. But I guess we don't have to mention Moto because like as far as I'm concerned, like you're just is that the agenda? Like if you stream Arena, like you just don't want people to like ever see you play Moto? Is that like is it hard
Like
to
I hide it?
yeah, I mean, it just feels like every person I've ever talked to who plays Arena is just like Moto's like an abomination, and it is, but it's like people just want to hide it, right?
It's more like everyone stops watching when she flips over
Like
to Moto.
I lose half my numbers.
That's
at
pretty
least.
much it.
Seriously.
Yeah, so like it's just rough. Like if being an Arena streamer, I feel like I have to like just do that because that's what people like to watch. It's a more pleasant viewing experience when it's not like crashing or whatever.
Yeah. So yeah.
Some of the bigger
I'll go ahead. Yeah.
some of the bigger names like Kenji or Caleb get away with streaming Moto because like I don't know why, honestly, but
Yeah, I mean,
like other people who don't play a lot of the older formats and their audience isn't used to that, like they'll just start being super critical of the Moto interface, saying, "Oh, what is this, an Excel spreadsheet?"
every time.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's an awesome Excel spreadsheet. I mean, Magic is Excel. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah.
I also just like really knowing my rating. Like I was obsessed with my rating when I played on Moto.
You were.
Every day I'd be like, oh my God, did it go up? And oh my God, the peak was I remember it's 1902. That was my peak. I peaked.
Yeah. You hit 19? That's
1902.
incredible.
Yeah.
Like when I used to play Moto, I had to quit because I was too addicted to it. That's say something about me. I played mostly constructed, but I was like checking my Moto rating more than I check my Twitter notifications, which is like insane. Like I was checking my rating after like every match, and I was just playing these like inconsequential leagues, and I still cared about that crazy number. It was just really unhealthy, so I had to stop.
Yeah.
But
When you start just focusing on the numbers, it's rough.
Yeah. But anyway, so sorry, there's enough about me. Back to you. So going back, like you're streaming Moto, and then did you start going into Arena like as soon as Arena was in beta, or what was the deal?
No, I didn't want to do it. I was like, no, I don't want to bot draft. I'm just going to stay here. And like, I probably should have moved to Arena sooner. Like that would have like helped with stream growth probably, but I just was very attached to Moto.
I'm good that I'm happy that you're admitting that, because I love Moto as well. I mean, don't be ashamed to say that you love Moto. Yeah, I mean, we all love Moto here. This is like pro Moto chat right here. Yeah. Okay. And then was it just like the beck and call of like the viewership? Like, is that why you moved over to Arena?
I guess because like, well, it's weird because I actually don't like to think about people like listening or watching my content. Like I have to like almost like separate that, because if I start to think about it, then I get like really nervous. So, and that sounds ridiculous because I've been doing it for years, right? Like I should be comfortable with it. So like whenever people invite me on like anything, I'm always like so nervous. But I wasn't nervous with you because we like messaged back and forth and I felt like very prepared.
Yes.
So that helped. And I listened to Marshall's episode and I listened to Alex Haynes' episode.
Oh, awesome.
Yes.
Awesome.
And I need to go back and listen to a bunch of them. I'm planning on listening to all of them.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I believe Taalia Vess recently gave you a shout out when I interviewed her.
I love her.
Yeah.
She's so sweet. Oh my gosh. We played a lot of Among Us in 2020 and she just cracks me up. She's great.
She said that you were like very inspirational to her as a content creator. Like I say that totally non-ironically. Like she said that. That was really nice of her. Yeah.
She's so sweet.
Yeah.
Why? Okay, so I remember that. I met her at the very last event we went to before COVID hit. It was, well, it already hit, but we didn't really know. It was February 2020. We went to New Jersey. And
January.
Are you sure it was January?
It was like late January.
Okay,
Wow,
so
you guys,
January.
John, you have a good memory. That's incredible.
Thank goodness.
I mean, it was a kind of turning point in history, so it's easy to pinpoint.
Yeah, I guess you remember that. That's true. That's fair.
Yeah. Also, I have another frame of reference, which was I got really sick on like Valentine's Day weekend, which was like probably COVID looking back on it, but I didn't get anyone else sick, which was weird. So then I was wondering, like, was it close enough to the GP that I could have gotten it from that? Anyway, it wasn't. It was, I don't know.
Okay.
Tangent. Anyway, that's why I remember when this GP was.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
So that's where you met Taalia, or you guys met Taalia.
Yeah. So okay. I was making videos for Channel Fireball back then. And they invited us. It was me and Lady Lavinias and who else was it? It was Ben. Was it Ben Wheeler?
Yeah.
They invited us to do. It was like what was it?
Mystery
booster draft. So I was like, can Jon come in too? Like, can we both do this? We got to do it for free, and he opened a freaking mana crypt.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was so good. Best EV.
Yes. Good EV.
So, yeah, and it was, okay, so I remember looking around the room and just being like, this is amazing that we have this many people that want to be here for Magic. Like, this is incredible. I just remember thinking that and feeling so grateful. And then, like, later that felt, like, extra potent because we didn't play Magic with people for a long time because of COVID or whatever. But
This has nothing to do with Taalia.
no, I'm so sorry. But I met her there and I met Hunter.
Hunter Pence.
Yeah. He was also one of the like earlier viewers in my stream that I like remember because he was he's Hunter Pence, right? Like I didn't know who he was at first. I just yelled at him a bunch. I was like, no, what are you telling me about? That's wrong. Like what the hell? Like I would just like argue with pros and like
he's not a Magic.
Well, you're the pro of Magic. He's the pro of something else. So that it's fair game. So
right. It like transfers, I think.
Yeah. But he was like a fan of the stream, so he came to that GP, and we talked to him for a bit. He's a real cool guy.
I was like a little bit salty, and he was like so cool because he's like, just think about how cool it is for your opponent when they win, and like try to share in their joy and stuff. And I was like, yeah, that's cool. I'll try that.
And I mean, he has the cred to make that like a solid statement there, you know?
Yeah, he just has a big heart.
Well, I mean, I'm trying to say he was a professional baseball player, so like
I picked up on that. That's what I assumed when Jon said that.
I don't know if Jamie picked up on
well,
it.
I don't know, like whatever. I don't like sports just don't do it for me. It only very recently maybe like in the last few years I realized that sports wasn't just like having like a strong body, like you need like a good mental
Strong
too.
mind.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's way more
Magic's
impressive
kind
now.
of a sport. It's a mental sport.
Right. For sure.
I don't want to use the word esport, but it's a sport. Like it's a mental. It's like chess.
It's an M sport,
poker.
a mental sport.
Well, because you really have to get a mental sport.
We can't say esports anymore.
Why?
That's right.
Because Wizards gave up on that.
Oh, maybe not. Maybe they'll
Esports for
revisit.
Magic are dead.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Wait. Okay. The last GP, listen. That was very... It hit me hard because I also played What's-His-Face. Who did I play in the last round? Jaberwocki.
Yeah, what's his real name now?
Logan Nettles.
Yeah.
Yeah, I sat down. I was like, I know who you are.
The
And then we started playing and
infamous
I was talking to him.
Jaberwocki, Moto Grinder, yeah.
Oh, yeah, he's, like, excellent. But I was talking to him like I would talk to, like, people in a stream. Like, I was just, like, we were playing or whatever. And at one point, he's like, can we just, like, talk at the end? Like, he was super nice about it. He's like, can we just talk at the end? I'm, like, trying to focus here. I'm like, yeah, I'm sorry. Like, that was so awkward. Like, oh, no. And then...
I think he has to pee. I'll be right back.
Okay. But, yeah, so then I ended up winning. And I felt really cool because I was like, whenever you beat a pro, it's just so cool. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. I was actually just thinking about that this morning. It's just like, has anyone ever done like a TikTok meme or something around like, what if you do streaming IRL? Like, what if you just behave like a streamer? Like when you're just walking around in real life, like just like pretending there's the Twitch chat or just talking to yourself or like you could do that skit. Like that idea is free. Like, I don't know if someone's already done it, but that would be amazing. I think if someone
That'd
did a
be
skit
so
like
funny.
That. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Do you do skits? Are you on TikTok and Instagram? Are you like doing all that stuff or?
No. So like technology, like just it like scares me. I don't know. Like I just get like really frustrated when stuff doesn't work, and like if I don't know why something doesn't work, then I get really stuck because I need to know the why. You know. But I'm gonna get into it.
It's pretty easy, right? Like TikTok, you just record yourself. I mean, I'm not saying it's easy. I mean, content is not easy, but like, is there something about that just like frustrates the heck out of you? Like if you try.
No,
if you
so
go in that
TikTok is
direction?
actually really appealing. I watch a lot of TikTok. Not a lot of magic TikTok. A little bit of magic TikTok.
Yeah.
But like, I think it's probably like wide open. Like I should probably try to do stuff on there. I'm gonna do my art on there and do like time lapse videos. My good friend and podcast person, co-host,
Yeah.
yes, Melvin the Muppet taught me. He's gonna teach me how to do it. Yeah.
Okay. What's it like to podcast with a member of Sesame Street?
Wait, is he a member of Sesame Street?
Well, he was never.
He was disowned, right? Like he was gonna make the band, and then they kicked him out of Sesame Street, and then he had to pursue a life of podcasting instead.
He's more like Sesame Back Alley.
Oh god.
Sesame Back Alley. I think that's the new podcast pivot. I think you guys should just call it Sesame Back Alley.
Sesame Dirt Road.
Oh no. Yeah.
Sesame Dirt Road.
He's so funny.
What's Melvin's story like? Is it just that he wants to be completely anonymous? Is that why he wants to become a Muppet?
Like if, at events and stuff, like, and when he goes and plays Magic, like in tournaments, he'll talk to people.
Well, he's not anonymous. You've seen his little blue face before. He streams.
Yeah, he does stream.
Okay. I haven't seen him stream. Like I thought he would just be in character. Like he'd just be wearing like a like a Muppet costume or something.
What do you mean in character?
Like because on the podcast art it actually shows him as is it like Elmo, like basically a red Muppet. So I thought that he would just like wear
well, he's a blue Muppet.
Blue mage.
Oh, is he blue? I thought it was red.
Oh,
okay, I'm getting mixed.
You might be
up
thinking
here.
of
Sullivan. That's his like cousin or something.
Yeah. I don't know how they're related.
Oh, there's an expanded universe. Okay, I didn't know this. Okay, all right.
They're both Sesame Dirt Road members.
So Sullivan has the TikTok, and he is a bartender, and he has that going for him, and he has like magic cards in the background and stuff. Melvin does streaming, and he's on the podcast with us, Ponder. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I've got to ask, how did you start that podcast? Like, how did it start?
I did not. I was invited onto the podcast. They lost a member of their team to
Cancellation.
I was just gonna guess cancellation. I knew nothing about it, but it just the way you said it just made it sound like someone got canceled. Yeah, it's okay. All right.
That is what happened. And yeah, like at the time they just asked me to like be a guest and stuff, so I did that a few times. And then they were saying we really want somebody, our third, to be somebody who's like a full-time content creator for Magic. And I was like, I'm not that. And then I became that. It was really weird.
Wait. You were full time, right? Weren't you a full time
No.
streamer?
No, not when I first started doing the podcast with them. I had been like part time, and like I was actually like not debating. Well, maybe I was. Was I going to quit Magic? I was going to quit Magic a ton of times, right? Like that's everybody. So I think at one point I was like, this is just too much because I was working this office job. I was like, so if you ever want to talk about all the jobs I've had, like I've been all over the place, right? But what? Okay, I have a really funny story, actually. I'm so sorry. I get like really scattered. What were we actually talking about?
Okay, don't worry about it. Just talk about your office story, and I'll pull us back later. Yeah.
Okay, so, well, this is okay. I was a massage therapist. That's actually I was in school for that when he bought this present for me, and I was like so stressed because I never learned how to study. Like I didn't know how to study. Like I just got away with like whatever and when I was in school. And then I had to take this anatomy class. And so you actually have to like learn the stuff, right? So I was so stressed. So that's why that's what happened. But I ended up fast forward, I ended up being a chair massage person in a casino in Pittsburgh. And one day, guess who walks in the poker room? Steve Rubin. Yeah, I was like, oh my God, it's Steve Rubin. Everybody's like, who? Like, what? I was like, he's a professional Magic player. He's so cool.
Talk about Magic celebrity right there. Yeah.
Yeah, walking the plains. Like I had seen him. Like I knew his like story. I was like, oh my God. Like he's like, and then he walks in. Do you know Stu? He was with Stu Summers. And then Stu's like, how come you know him and not me? It's such a Stu thing to say. Okay, sorry. But anyway, so I had these like free chair massage cards I could give out to people. My boss was like, use these for like, I don't know, whatever. So I would like hoard them and like give them to people that I liked. So I was like, here, Steve, I'm going to give you like a half hour of free massage or whatever. And I just talked his ear off about Magic the whole time. Like, he was just trying to play poker, like live his life.
Oh, so here's a fact about Jamie. Anytime we're at a party or like social function, she'll seek out the one person who's heard anything about Magic ever and just talk to them about Magic the whole time.
Well, okay, so I think that's actually like the secret to life is like when you want to get to know somebody or like, I learned this recently. We went to a wedding. It was his cousin's wedding and it was so beautiful. Oh my gosh. So I was just like trying to like, I usually get really nervous talking to people because I guess I'm always like, well, they're going to like think I'm boring or stupid or whatever, you know? And like, I hate small talk. Ugh, it's so gross. Like, I don't care about weather. I don't care about sports. I don't care about, I don't know, what do people talk about? Just stupid stuff. I don't want to talk about that stuff. I want to talk about like, what are you excited about? What makes you like nerd out about something? Like, that's what I want to hear about. So
yeah.
In order to do that though, like you could just go be a nerd and then find somebody who wants to nerd out with you.
So we were at this wedding and she found...
I did.
She found someone who had like recently learned to play Magic.
It was so cute.
And
they do cute things.
Yeah.
What were they doing? The enchantment thing? Okay, so she plays blue black control and her like
John's memory is not that good.
Her partner plays green stompy and he was saying how he put an enchantment on the land and they would add it, they would keep tucking in a forest into it instead of just adding a green mana.
So let me translate. They had a spell that's like enchant land, and whenever you tap the land, it adds an extra green. What they thought you were supposed to do was like tutor up a forest and put it into play.
Oh.
So he would be sitting there with like a million mana after 3 turns.
It's so cute.
Yeah, but it's like one of those common new player mistakes, you know?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Like, if you're just trying to play at home and you don't know all the like official rules and stuff, like, yeah,
Absolutely. We've all
Yeah,
made
so we
those weird assumptions about how the game works. And so did you go over and like correct them on what the
They
what
were
it should
playing.
be?
They were
Or-
just telling us about like their
Yeah,
experiences.
we were
Yeah.
we were sharing stories
Yeah.
during cocktail hour.
At a wedding. We were talking about magic.
Okay.
And
Okay.
then, oh my gosh.
We were like in line for hors d'oeuvres or something, and Jamie's like, "Do you play Magic?" Turns to this person.
No, I did not. Did I say that?
Well, we were talking about something else, maybe the drinks in front of us, and then you're
it
like,
doesn't
"Do you
hurt
play
to
games?
ask.
Do you play
Just
Magic?"
out of the blue, like, do you play Magic? And then the person
Basically,
happens
and
to
she's
play
like,
Magic.
"Yeah, you mean Magic the Gathering?" And Jamie's like, "Oh my God, yes! I found them. I found the one person at this wedding who knows about Magic."
Your brother knows
You know, you
about
could have
magic.
just grabbed the PA or the microphone, just like say like anybody in the room, like does anyone play Magic? If you do play Magic, please come and talk to me. That would have been like way more effective, I think.
Maybe you should start DJing weddings so you can do that,
Maybe. That'd be kind of fun.
and then just be like, "Okay, bye. I'm gonna go talk to this person about Magic." Mic drop.
I need to ask this. I know we're going like tangent after tangent, but I really want to know like how did you guys initially meet and what was that interaction like?
Ooh. Are
So
you
we have
skip
a-
the initial?
How long is this podcast?
Okay, no.
We got all
Okay,
the
so-
time in the world for you guys.
all right. Okay. We met.
Insert 10
Before
hours
we
later meme. All right. We met before you met, so you were like cosmic souls from previous lifetime?
Kind of. So, okay, we have a mutual friend. That is who introduced us. But the first time we met, we were juniors in college, and we went to a friend's house. Did you play Rock Band that night, or we just did
We
charades?
played a little bit of Rock Band.
Okay, we played a little bit of Rock Band, and we did charades. And then
Are
we
we going to
left.
divulge what kind of charades?
Adult charades.
Not anything. The words were adult charades.
Yes. Oh my gosh, we didn't yes. But it was kind of funny acting out like I don't want to say the
Ooh.
exact thing. No. We went to Penn State, we were in college, it was fun, like yeah. Anyways.
Sure.
So it was naughty words charades.
Yes.
And it was all in good fun.
It was fun. It was silly.
And I was dating someone else at the time. And this was spring semester. And then we didn't see each other again until fall semester when we were hanging out with the same friend after a football game. And that same friend said to me, "Hey, my friend wants to play Rock Band. You guys have Rock Band too. Do you mind if she comes over?" So
And it was me.
that was Jamie. And at that point, I was not dating another person.
But it was very recent.
Yes.
The not dating the other person.
And then
Very emotionally vulnerable.
Jamie and I started kind of dating, and then other person found out, and then drama ensued.
It was
Because she
pretty
wanted to
dramatic.
get back together with me, and then
I mean, look at him. Why wouldn't you?
Yeah. You don't know what you're missing out on until it's gone, to paraphrase the great Joni Mitchell.
It's really tough, yeah. Like I feel for her. But yeah. So our friend Greg, like I asked him because you left your key or something. You ran away for a minute while we were like hanging out, and then I was like, "Greg, what's his deal?" And he's like, "No, don't do that. He's not in a good place for that." And I was like, "Ooh, okay."
yeah.
What do you mean?
If you tell Jamie not to do something, she'll instantly really want to do that.
That's
thing.
not true. Because
Okay.
I can tell when you're trying to opposite me.
Okay. You know when like someone's like deliberately doing that to you, like a
Yes.
reverse psychology kind of thing.
Yes.
But if you actually don't want her to do something, she wants to do it.
I mean,
So that's how
I
you
don't know.
guys that's how you guys met was when you guys were still studying at Penn State.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And then so that night we played a lot of Rock Band. It was super fun. I went home. I looked him up on Facebook. I had looked him up on Facebook when he was with that other girl. And then I saw that when we were juniors and I just dropped it. But then when we were seniors, I was like, oh, I'm going to go look him up. And I found his phone number and I texted him.
Yeah.
I was,
She's a creeper.
I am, I guess.
Wow.
Oh my gosh. I'm a jerk.
What was
and a
that first
creeper.
what was that first text like? Like sup or what?
I remember for word. The first text was, "So you are ridiculously hot," and this was probably like 3 a.m. when I got the text.
Which is okay. To be fair, the best time to send that text would have been 3 a.m. because you can actually claim, like you were like not quite yourself, or like you were like inebriated. Like there's a lot of like good things that could go with that, right? To be fair,
Yeah.
Right. And I didn't have her number in my phone, obviously, because she looked my number up on Facebook. But I knew who it was, using my Sherlock Holmes.
There's only
skills.
one person in the world that can text me something like that. It's got to be the old Jamie Topples.
That was her.
Oh no.
So then we
And
started
how did you
chatting
respond to that? Did you text back, or did you just
I
let
said,
it sit for a while?
He said something smart
funny.
and silly.
Yeah, I don't remember what I said back. It's not that important. But
Oh gosh.
All right, and you all lived happily ever after. That's
It's
the story.
really funny because my roommate at the time was in a very serious relationship with this guy. And he told Jon, he warned him. He's like, she's not a relationship person. You better
he
watch
said
out.
she's not girlfriend material.
What does that mean, though?
I don't
But
know.
like, I don't know. I never really was.
Like
I would
she's
lose
not
interest.
girlfriend material, she's wife material.
Well,
Is that what it means?
Okay,
Or
so
what?
there's a piece of the story that we're
Oh my god.
leaving out,
Jeez.
which was that she had a boyfriend.
I
that she
tried to
didn't-
break up with
she
him.
didn't tell
Okay,
me about.
listen. He didn't answer his phone. It was a long distance relationship. It was over. Okay.
Okay.
His name was Elisha, spelled Elisha, and I saw that on Facebook. Like she's in a relationship with Elisha, and I thought it was like Alicia, like a girl's name or something. Just
People would do that back then. They'd say
Yeah.
their relationships with their friends, like
Yeah,
Facebook
yeah, that was
the
the thing.
Wild West in 2000.
It's complicated,
2008.
man. That's what Facebook is. It's complicated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
so, yeah. I assumed she was single, and then at some point she was like, after we had been dating for a little bit, she's like, "Oh, I have a boyfriend, but I've been trying to break up with him." I'm like, okay.
Because I'm bad. I don't want to like keep secrets, right? Like I
Yeah, it should.
wanted to be like, this is what's up.
I mean, you certainly made it quite non-secret that you thought he was hot. So it's shoot your shot, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it all worked out.
Yeah.
And then like the rock band theme continued when he proposed to me. He put a ring on a guitar, and I was napping, and he woke me up, and he's like, "Come on, let's play rock band." I was like, "What do you mean? I'm exhausted."
I was excited. It was a Wednesday. The ring just came.
It was cute.
And we
It was
hadn't
really
played
cute.
Rock Band for like a couple months at that point, so
So it was kind of weird. I was like, "Why now? Like, can I just sleep? Like, what are you doing?"
I loved Rock Band so much back in the day. I always did the singing. It was just fun.
yeah.
But I always wonder, like, as a musician, right? Like, which you are, John. Like, when you see games like Guitar Hero and Rock Band, like, is it still fun for you, or are you just kind of like put off by it in some way?
No, I have a lot of fun
Okay.
with Rock Band and like rhythm games. We recently got Trombone Champ, which was
It's really funny.
Wait, there's a game called Trombone Champ.
yeah.
Does it have is there a physical trombone or what?
No, you just use your mouse, and
Oh, that's too
you
bad.
kind of move.
There would be a physical
I guess you
arcade game or something.
Yeah, maybe if you're an electrical engineer, you could rig up a trombone or something.
Okay,
It's
so
funny.
that's what you guys are into right now. Yeah.
We played that a little bit. I'm kind of exaggerating, but no. Even when the first Guitar Hero came out, I loved it. I thought it was a really cool idea for a game. Because my two passions in life are video games and music. So there you go.
Oh, okay. Jamie, are you into video games as well?
Yes. So I think I'm pretty sure I got like my first Nintendo when I was like 2. Well, my dad got it and let me play it or whatever.
Yeah.
Like he had his Madden games, right? Like he was really into that. But I think he got me like Sesame Street and like Super Mario Brothers. Everybody makes fun of how I say it. It's
Mario.
well, like when I was a kid, he didn't say his name in the game. Okay, so I played a ton of Mario, but I know it's Mario or whatever. Like I get it, but yeah, I'm sorry. But so I played ever since I was a kid, and like so I would always play at my grandma's house, like when I went to visit her, and I'd always play at my house. Like yeah, I grew up on Nintendo and Super Nintendo and N64.
Nice. So was Magic the first ever card game, or did you play games before that, before John introduced you to?
Well, I played a lot of card games growing up. Like my grandparents taught me like euchre and pinochle and
then in college you played bridge.
I loved bridge. Oh my gosh, bridge was so much fun.
Oh,
And
really?
played a lot of-
Were you really serious about bridge, or was it just like a casual thing?
fairly serious?
Yeah, and then they had some bridge game that they had been playing for a couple of years before we met.
We played like almost every week for a while, yeah.
And then they brought me in, and her roommate just absolutely laid into me when I made a mistake.
She is brutal to play games with. Oh my god, she is brutal.
And I'm like, this is the second time I've played bridge. I don't really know what I'm doing.
Just
Like,
got the
I played
lecture, huh?
Hearts before,
Yeah.
but
Oh my
I don't know.
goodness.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
she was
She,
into. You're into other card games before,
Yeah.
but not card games like Magic.
no, well,
Not
nothing's like
Yu-Gi-Oh
Magic.
or Pokemon.
No. Yeah, I never got into this. I wish. Like, I'm always
Yeah.
jealous of people who've been playing Magic since like the beginning. That's so cool.
Are you really though? Because I feel like I was just talking to somebody about this. Like, I know you're mostly doing limited, right? I feel like there's just so many sacred cows in Magic that the older Magic generation just doesn't want to do away with, right? Like, I'm not just talking about the gameplay itself or how you draft, but also just like attitudes about what Magic should and shouldn't be. Like every week there's somebody crying about how this new Magic card's going to ruin Magic, and then next week another thing, and then next week another thing. And guess what? Magic's still alive. Like I actually, so as someone who started Magic in the 90s, I actually feel like there's a lot of benefit to getting into Magic now in the last 5 to 10 years, that because you don't have all that baggage. You don't have that stuff. Like, and newer players don't even have to know what Moto is, and like, you know what I mean, right? Like, so it's actually good to be like a relative newcomer, because you don't have those like preconceptions, right? I mean, I'm sure for limited, you must hear like stuff all the time, like, okay, you're supposed to do this, and then it's just like, really?
I hate that. Don't tell me what to do. Like, 17 land says, I don't care what 17 land says. Like, okay, so here's what's really interesting. My friend Garbage Andy, he's a streamer. He does this, he has a trash cube where it has the worst cards on 17 lands from standard. And there's some really freaking good cards in there.
Standard or from limited?
From standard limited. Yes. So like all the sets
Is
across.
it from the history of Magic, or is it just like cards that
just standard,
were...
it's just a standard block, but you draft the cards, right?
Not from the history of Magic. No.
No.
Oh, so you mean
Wait,
whatever is legal currently in standard constructed,
Yes.
he puts that into a cube.
According to 17 lands data, so the worst cards, but like cards like the Magician from New Capenna, it was like 3.
2 and a red one?
Yeah, what's it called? You get a treasure or you get a citizen, and it's a 2/1.
It's a 2/2 now in the updated a new
Oh, yeah. Extra toughness.
What's it called?
technology.
But that's a good card. It's very flexible. You can use it. So like it probably has bad stats because people don't know what they're doing. Okay, so the average win rate of a 17 lands user is 53%. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. This is not a judgment, but like, if I have 53% win rate, I'm like, what is happening? Like,
You start streaming because you're like, I want to get better at this game.
that's right.
So what?
Like, I don't want to listen to people. Like, I want to listen to people who have like low win rates. Like just Lola, man, he has like an 80% win rate. What are you doing? Tell me what you're doing with these cards.
Sounded like you said low.
Lola, just Lola.
Lola, man, the famous streamer, right? Yeah.
He's fantastic. He's so entertaining. Like he's like, he always is like smoke a cigarette. He cracks me up. He's just excellent, but he like he's like kind of sassy and fun. Like he's real confident, but not like arrogant. Like he's very humble too. Yeah.
So in light of the recent thing you tweeted and the podcast that you made me listen to, like what is your position?
Oh,
no, I mean you didn't make me. I mean, sorry, I'm exaggerating. I enjoyed that episode, but so what is your position? Like in terms of like, are you playing Magic now to have fun or to solve something?
It's really weird because I feel like I'm always like teetering in this like gray area where like, yes, I want to be the very best. I want to improve. I want to get better. But for me, I think like Magic is a mirror. It kind of tells me like what my inner state is, because like if I'm getting really salty or like I feel like I'm personally victimized by the shuffler, like if it's one of those days, I'm like, something's going on. It's not just Magic, right? If I'm in like a good mental space and like the shuffler, like if I flood or whatever, I'm just like, oh, it's a flood. Like that was a flood. But like sometimes I'm just like, this is ruining my win rate. Like, oh my gosh, like I'm going to be a 17 Lancer soon.
One of our favorite pastimes is
I'm
whipping out
sorry.
17 lands.
No,
I can feel that. Are we going to do the 17 lands drinking game? Like every time you talk shit about 17 lands, we just have a sip. Is that how it's going to be?
So okay, data is fantastic and it's so interesting. And I think I did an episode with Zerkovitz and we talked about like my win rate for it was the Commander set, the draft set, which was about 53% because I was just, something was off. So I was like, I don't know what's going on.
What, didn't we figure out that you were drafting green and that was the problem?
Yeah, well, he was like, you figured out white, you drafted white really well, you had this high win rate with it. And then I started, drafting green or something, and then my win rate plummeted. But it was interesting. Yeah. But he was like, he said, he's like, people don't use data right, and it like drives me bonkers. Like he doesn't like it either, and he works on it, right?
Yeah, no, I think you mentioned that in your podcast, right? It's like data can say anything, or maybe one of your co-hosts did. Like data can say anything you want. Like it's just not just Magic, but just in general, right? So what am I trying to say here? Like, yeah, so I mean, 17 lands is just a tool, right? Just like how, like for Commander players, like some people really don't like what's the site? EDH Rec. Shout out to EDH Rec, because like it's trying to teach you how to build like the most optimized Commander deck, and that's not often like even the point. That's not even the point. Or there's like budget considerations or whatever. This is totally different. I guess it's kind of like apples and oranges, but yeah.
It feels the same. Like people are trying to say 17 lands, you have to do this because it says like that's a higher winning card. If you don't take that card, you're wrong. Like some people have literally said that to me in stream. Like you're wrong for not taking that card.
They'll say this card has a 0.3% higher game in hand win rate than the other card. Why would you take that? Are you insane?
Yeah, like some people have like literally said things like that. Like you're insane. Yeah. You're insane if you don't use 17 lands. Like what? Like okay, so I play Magic. The most like thing that I think is okay. Let me start. Give me a second. I just started.
No problem.
Fix it in post.
No.
Fix.
Okay, so sometimes I feel like so I have like pretty bad ADHD, and I feel like I get like excited, and then I'm like thinking about like a bunch of things, and I can't talk fast enough to get there. So I get like mixed up. Okay, so now I don't know what I was talking about. What were we talking about?
17 lands and how it can be a force for evil and how like people can use it incorrectly and things like that.
Yeah. Well, like for me, the most interesting part is like a new set comes out. Awesome. I get to see how these cards work together. I get to see like what archetypes I can like dip into and what like I can like navigate through. Like I love sets where you don't have to like be on the guide rails, right? And that's currently what we have. Like this set is fantastic. It's super balanced. You can do whatever you want. There's like pockets of like synergy and like cool stuff you can do.
The way people try to use 17 lands now is like they're trying to put up those guide rails. And personally, I hate that. Right around the time 17 lands became popular, I had already kind of stopped listening to Magic content as if it were kind of like like spoilers, not card spoilers, but I mean like listening to Limited Resources or Lords of Limited, because I feel like you're telling me what cards are good or how I should play. I want to figure that out for myself because that's the fun part.
Right. And I feel exactly the same way.
So then 17 Lands came to fruition and is now super popular, and I just I have a gut reaction of hating it because it's like people want to use it as an instruction manual, and then if you're just drafting step by step, then it's not a game anymore. But
right. I have to admit, I don't watch a ton of your streams, Jamie, but I've seen like Deathsea and Ben Stark stream, and they always break it down super well because like every time there's a pick, they will actually spend minutes just talking through like why I'm doing that, why I'm doing this, and they're not looking at some kind of fucking tier list and just be like, this card is the top of the tier list, so I'm picking this card and it's in my color. Like they're always talking about like options, right? Like, because that makes it fun, and that makes it fun for me as a viewer to like listen to them talk about it, because I feel like I'm actually learning something, because that's actually something I can take into my toolbox, right? Because like if I think about how Ben drafts in this very instance, I can extrapolate this to how I might do it in another set, another pack, another draft. But if I'm just using like a fucking tier list, like there's no learning, there's no fun. Like a robot could do the draft, like, and which I'm sure people do. Like they probably just write bots to draft, and like where's the fun in that, right? I'm sort of preaching to the choir here, but
well, Ryan Sachs, if you're familiar with him, he had been working on a draft bot for a while using machine learning.
It was really
which is a different
that was cool
thing entirely.
That's actually like a cool challenge of trying to make that work. I'm not putting that down. I'm just saying that you don't want to make playing Magic just like a kind of paint by numbers affair, where you're just like, you don't even have to be there. Like there's no individuality to playing Magic anymore, and that's something that I don't enjoy either. So
the thing that makes draft great is having to make that decision, each decision on the fly.
Right. It's super interesting. And then like everybody's going to do something different. I think that's what's cool about it.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like you get to tell a story with these decks, right? Like where do you want to take it? And like,
or what if you just want to have fun today? Just close your eyes and pick a card. Like that's kind of cool, right? Like just call it sabotage draft or something. I don't know. Like that could be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just made me think of that really weird green-red draft you had early in.
Oh my god.
Was it the green-red artifacts or something else?
Well,
yeah.
That was the green-red artifacts?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So I drafted it pretty early on, and it did really well. I was like, this is amazing. It was so much fun. It was like Maria and the Relic and Rada.
That saga.
Oh yeah, the
something
war. It's like you never play it usually.
It makes a Thopter, and then it deals damage equal to the number of artifacts you have.
Oh, cool.
She went all
in
an
engine.
It was really cool.
Artifact build in a set that doesn't really support it all that well.
But that's like that makes for an awesome, unique viewing experience, right? And playing experience. And I think you'd also mention like sometimes you don't want to make the most optimal draft because you've built 4 Boros decks in a row like in draft, so you just want to like pick another color, maybe not green but blue or something else. Right?
Oh,
okay, we lost you for a second.
Oh, okay. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, I was just saying, sometimes you're building the same color archetypes all the time, and you just want to do something different, right? And I mean, how do you balance that? Like when you're streaming, are you like always thinking about like entertainment value, or like it's a combination of entertainment and your win rate, or like what is it? I know it's not 17 Lands, but what is it?
Hard. Well, because like, okay, so now I really want to focus on having fun and like just doing my thing, like just drafting my way, right? Instead of trying to do what's best or whatever. Cause like,
so drafting the Jamie way.
Right. Yeah. Because it's interesting. But sometimes I feel this pressure to do really well because, I'm dedicated a lot of my time and efforts into like getting good at Magic. So like if I have a bad losing streak, even if it's like from stuff I can't really control, I just start to feel bad. I'm like, oh no, like people are going to stop watching me. But then I'm like, wait a second. I don't think people watch me because like my win rate, right? I mean, like some people do. Literally, like when I made videos for Channel Fireball, there was a person who was like, oh, I stopped watching that video when you got a loss. What? Like,
What?
I ended up 3-0ing that draft. Like, you stopped like watching because I got one loss. Like, I don't know. People.
Now
are
I'm
weird.
wondering how many people have developed this bot where like they will unsubscribe to your Twitch if your win rate falls below a certain percentage. They're like, no, you're out. I'm just joking.
But-
I hope you didn't take that seriously.
No. So for me, like, I consider myself a good player, but like, there's definitely times in my career where I've been like an amazing player, right? Like, I feel like we got 10th place with that guy that I beat at F&M, the end boss, Gary Gold, was on our team. It was,
Team sealed on Cat.
yeah, I'd almost quit Magic too. Cat wrecked me, like freaking Glorybringer. I was like, I can't, if I see that again, I will die. Like, that's how I felt. Like, I hated that card so much. I was like, this is awful. Because, like, out of nowhere, like, people would splash it. And you'd just be like, are you kidding me? Like, what?
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah. So, like, I wrote this, like, letter, basically. And I was like, I'm quitting. Like, you remember? I think I have it somewhere. So I was like, I can't do this anymore. Like, I'm too, like, emotionally attached to my results. And, so then we went and played Team Sealed, and like we built these decks, and I was like, we have to play this Slitherblade deck. And they were like, no. I was like, no, these are the builds. And I like convinced them to do it. Gary sat in the middle with this Slitherblade deck. We sat across from LSV's team. It was LSV. Who did you play against?
Pat Cox,
And was it?
Raptor.
Yeah.
Damn. All right.
So this was
Let's
when
go.
LSV had come back. Okay. Like he had been out for a while.
Yeah.
So
He had like 2 PT top 8s, and then he took a break for a little bit.
so this was his like
And
comeback.
then he was coming back, and this was his first event back.
All right.
He was real like friendly.
He was so
when we
nice.
Sat down
Yeah.
against him.
Great.
And then he's like, "Oh, you're on the Slitherblade deck,"
And you see his face.
and he was like kind of
yeah.
laughing about
Yeah.
it. And then it came down to their match, and he lost. And he was not happy.
No.
Understandably,
They ended up getting like 8th, right? They
Yeah.
got like top something. Did they even get top 4?
maybe this
Yeah.
was round 3 of the GP also. So like losing that early kind of
It's rough.
hurts your chances to go far.
Okay, but like so that okay, everybody at the end of the day, everybody's like, what's your rate? And we were what, like X? Well, we made day 2,
We're
like by the
X3.
skin of our teeth or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and X3 was bad. People were like, oh, that's terrible. We freaking like 5-0'd day 2. It was insane.
Wow. Yeah.
And this was like 2017, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'd only been playing Magic seriously for like 2 years.
Yeah.
Like, he was very good. Gary was very good. Gary's very good. Like, if he would apply himself, he would be like one of the best. But he's like, I don't want to play Magic anymore. I'm like, dude, the potential. Whatever. You have to do what's fun for you and what like speaks to you. But I'm just like,
So
way his
that's your
brain-
answer. Like you want to do what's fun, but then you also feel that sort of like pressure to win more or win as much as possible.
well, I hate losing gems. Like, it's horrible. Like, I don't want to give Arena any more money. Like, I mean, I think I like actually broke down the cost of it at one point. It ends up being like $1 a draft for me, which is not bad, like at all. That's fine. But like, then you see Lola, who has like 800,000 gems or something ridiculous that he has like earned by playing best of 3.
The difference is that he thinks really hard about every decision he
Well, why
makes.
would you want to do that?
And Jamie just wants to go.
Well, sometimes I think it's interesting if you play fast and make a mistake, because then you're like, ooh, I made a mistake, and then you have to like tighten up and see if you can win after the mistake. Like, I think that's fun and like compelling.
That's
then
an
make that
interesting
same
challenge.
mistake.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, then I make the same mistake over and over again, but that's how you learn. That's human.
Yeah. It does. I mean, I got to be real. Like, it doesn't feel good to not go infinite, right? Like, if you to lose gems or like no matter how much you lose, like it doesn't feel good. It feels good to like say I'm like free rolling or whatever, right? So, yeah, I think I feel like that's something that you never lose as a Magic player. It's like for example, I was never brought up like rich. Like I was kind of like John, like I couldn't afford Magic in the 90s. Like I started playing Magic again after college when I was like a working person and I had disposable income again. I was just like, wow, I can actually afford these cards now. So that never left me. Like that middle class, like upbringing never left me. I just, when I play Arena, full disclosure, I stopped playing drafts on Arena because I was like losing gems. Like I just can't, I can't go infinite. I'm sorry, I'm not Jamie Topples or just Lola Man. Like I watched a whole bunch of content and listened to LR, and I was just like still losing because like Magic's hard, and I started just not loving the game because like I was losing, I was losing gems, and so I you know what I mean, right? So I think that's always going to be a part of me. It doesn't matter if I can afford to lose gems. It's just hard for me. So
I think that was like part of our motivation to get good at the game too, because we were going to F&M every week, and we wanted to not lose money.
Yeah.
Yeah, to have a fun hobby that you're not losing money on, like that's
Yeah. So I mean, I listened to like limited resources religiously back then because I was like, I need to get better at this, and I like consumed content, and like we would play on Cockatrice because it wasn't online before we went to pre-releases, so we would like play.
Oh
and,
yeah,
like,
yeah. Remember those
go.
days when the sets wouldn't be released before pre-release? That was a
which
wild
I think
time.
is great. Honestly, like
I'm being sarcastic. That was actually good back then, where you didn't know every freaking thing before the cards came out, right? So.
Right.
We actually like stopped going to pre-releases after they started doing the drafts online first because
it wasn't.
It's post-release now. It's not even pre-release.
We would have like 10 drafts in and then show up at pre-release, and we're like, why are we even here? We could be drafting.
Yeah.
Just get the cards mailed to your house and just play at home. Yeah. I know.
But
I support the LGS, but it's tough.
We used to proxy up decks on Cockatrice, to prepare for pre-releases to spike them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of LR, can you talk about? I mean, either of you guys can talk about it, but can you talk about like Marshall Sutcliffe and maybe why Jamie, like he's a hero of yours or someone you look up to?
Yeah, he definitely is.
Don't a lot of people look up to him? He's like 6'5".
He's pretty tall, yeah.
I mean, literally look up to him. So that's why I'm saying this question can be for you too, John. Like, if you want to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so for me, like limited resources was like, I don't know, it was just so. I was an impressionable young Magic player, right? Like, and so was him and Luis, and like their relationship, they had great chemistry. They still do. Like they're like best friends. Like it's great.
Yeah.
Like you can tell.
Peas in the pod. Yeah.
So it was always like so enjoyable to listen to, and I learned so much so quickly, and like I actually like was a patron, and he sent me like this little thing. I have it still. It's like a little like crab, and it says like thank you for
Crab?
Well, it's like a
Is it a Mana War?
No, it's a crab. Are you gonna make me find this thing?
Mana War would be Mana War would be appropriate, but what is a crab? Like what is it, like a token or something, or?
No, it's like a little art thing, and then it's like thanks for, and like the crab is like on a wave or something, and there's like a surfboard. Am I making this up? Oh God.
I don't know.
But I have it.
I'll have to join the Patreon and find out.
Yeah.
We're gonna find out if this is real.
It is real. It's real. Right. Gosh.
Stay tuned, guys.
I just saw it the other day, and I was like, "Oh, that's cute."
Is that a filing cabinet?
Yeah.
We just got a second filing cabinet from my mom, who shut down her office. So we have plenty of filing space.
Yeah, it's right here. It's a crab on a surfboard. I freaking told you.
Can you put it closer? What is that? Is it a postcard?
Yeah, it's from Marshall.
Oh.
He signed
wow. Is it? It's actually hand signed. Oh.
I can send you a picture of it.
Oh no, it's fine. It's fine. It's gonna pick up. It's just in the recording right now. It's low res, but the actual like the recording would be awesome. It's no problem.
Okay. Well, so there's like a crab on a wave, and there's like a moose down here. I'm not really sure why.
Okay.
I
get you. I thought it was like a 3D crab. Like there was he sent you a crab sculpture or something. Like a miniature.
Set of live crabs.
Oh.
For all the patrons.
Yeah. So he always made the game like feel really approachable. And I just felt like I could never be LSV, like, because he can remember games from like 20 years ago. Like he can like be like, okay, I did this and this and this. And I'm like, what? Like, I don't even remember what I just did. Sometimes I don't remember the decks I play against. I'm like, what was I just playing? Like, that's just not how my brain works. Like I have to work like in the now, you know? But so I thought, like, I can't be like LSV, but maybe I can be like Marshall. Like, he knows what's up. Like, he has a good time. Like, he wants to, like, do all the cool stuff. And he's a very good player, right?
Yeah. What's the thing that what's the biggest lesson you think you learned from Marshall or from LR?
Oh, gosh. That's, like, a really big question.
I guess, let me break it down. Like, just in terms of, like, playing limited, or, like, is there some sort of general principle for playing limited that, like, really resonated with you from LR?
Well, I mean, like, back then it was, like, bread, right? That was the thing that I used the most. That's, like, outdated now. It's, like, some sort of, like, burrito or something now. What is it?
People use, like, keto now.
Keto, yeah.
What?
Well,
What's
like, Hack's
that?
Theory was pretty big. Like, I remember listening to those, like, episodes.
I forget what keto is.
Like KETO, that's the new acronym?
Something like
Okay.
that.
Okay.
Yeah. It's like kind of clever because, you know, you don't eat bread when you're on the keto diet.
Okay. Do you
There's calves too.
Okay. So
But
that's
so I
probably
was
the
just
most
always-
influential. Yeah.
Yeah, so I would listen to them, and I would listen to their like evaluations about cards, and that really taught me to do that for myself. Like I actually did that for a lot of sets. I would make a spreadsheet and then go through and like write like ratings for everything.
Mm-hmm.
I did that back in
Right.
like and like when I had an office job and I had some time to kill. Yes.
But that was,
That was 2019.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
2018, 2019.
Yeah.
But I don't know, just like evaluating stuff for yourself, and like they would explain why. And so
Okay.
I'm big on why, right? So the why, I like the why. I want to know why.
Yeah. Start with why, end with why, all that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you talk about that dream you had with Marshall?
Oh God.
Was that
I mean, John's here. He might as well hear it. So,
Oh, he knows.
is this the different one or the?
No, the newest one, I think.
like, you said Marshall was a dragon or something, right?
It's Hoard Dragon.
I woke up in the middle. Well, I wasn't asleep. So when I'm manic, it's like hard for me to go to sleep. I don't know. Have you ever had like, do you have any experience with anybody who's ever been manic? Like, it's a wild ride, basically. So there's like, okay. So I found out I was bipolar in 2020 because I took Prozac, and you're not supposed to take Prozac when you're bipolar. But how are you supposed to know you're bipolar until you take Prozac and you like go in outer space? That's basically what happened. Like I lost
Catch
my mind.
22.
It was 2020. I was like so afraid of dying. I was so anxious. I was afraid he was gonna die. Like it was like this wild stuff. Like, but I remember watching Marshall's watch videos. Okay, have you watched his wristwatch revival?
A little bit. He's got an ultra successful YouTube watch channel, for those who don't know.
Is it taking off?
Amazing. Like it's so good.
Ginormous, right? I think there's more viewers watching that than any limited resources episode, if I'm not
I
mistaken.
mean, his videos
Wow.
are very good.
They're
If you're into that thing.
high
which I'm not,
quality. Okay, and like you just see his hands and he talks through all the stuff, and he's like, he's a genius, right? Marshall's a genius. Like I was thinking about this. I think I wrote that down in my journal yesterday. I was like, is Marshall a genius? I almost messaged him. No, this was like my last manic episode. Okay, so when I'm manic, I lose my filter completely. And that's
Right.
why, like, when you're talking about my tweets, like, you can tell when I'm manic because I'm very active on social media. I'm not usually. Because I
Yeah.
usually have this, like, critic in my head that's like, oh, well, somebody could take this the wrong way, or, like, they'll think I'm terrible or stupid or whatever. And then so I just don't send anything because I'm like, I think about the stuff afterward. But if you're going to be creative and don't like edit yourself during that time. If they're two different processes. I did not message him, but back when I had my big manic episode, I mean, like it was bad, like really bad. I messaged Marshall at like 2 a.m, and he just like chatted with me, like and I was like, what the heck?
Well, it would have been 11 for him.
Yeah, but I mean, it wasn't like, but I would have been too scared to message him normally because I'd be like, well, it's Marshall. Like, oh my gosh, when I first found out, like he knew who I was like, Marshall knows who I am. Like, it was like the biggest moment.
But
yeah.
he's Hoard Dragon.
I don't know why he's Hoard Dragon. No, that's okay. So this current Manic episode was like a month ago, probably. I was like just trying to fall asleep and stuff, and I was thinking about Storybook Brawl. I was like really excited because I was going to do the tournament or whatever, and I woke. I was like, I got to write this down. Marshall's Hoard Dragon. Marshall's this character.
She tends to think her ideas and stuff are really important when she's manic, which is...
It's like that's a flagstone of mania.
Well, that's a thing. Yeah, that's a...
I'm not sure that's a manic thing. Isn't that true for everybody? Like, if I write something down, it's like the Bible. Like, you should read it.
You have like it's... You actually have an inflated sense of self-importance when you're manic. It's like a characteristic of...
And you think you can do anything. Yeah, like, you're just like, yes, like, if I want to drive a race car, I could do that tomorrow. I just have to go buy one. Like, yeah, like, you
like,
just believe
so
it.
that's good and bad, right? Double-edged sword.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, the Hoard Dragon thing is funny, but...
Yeah, what?
So, anyway, I have to, like, fight with her to, like, get her to sleep when she's in this state.
I don't know how to sleep when I'm manic. I, like, forget how to fall asleep.
So it was like...
horrible.
I don't know, 5 a.m, probably... We go to bed pretty late, so this was maybe 2.5 hours after I coaxed her to go to sleep initially. Mm-hmm. And I, like, realized she wasn't in bed, so I go out to the living room because I see the light is on, and she's out there on the couch, like, frantically writing.
I have it right here.
And she says to me, Marshall is Hoard Dragon. Hoard Dragon is one of the heroes in Storybook Brawl.
Okay.
And,
so there's some sort of Marshall fan fiction in your book right now. Like, the wings of the dragon roared as Marshall lifted into the skies. And
no.
It's probably not that coherent.
Okay. Was it a drawing, or is it like words or combination? Interpretive dance?
She was convinced that Marshall knows her dad for some reason.
No, okay, so listen. When you're manic, when I'm manic, maybe not when I'm manic too, I feel like my brain is always trying to make connections, even like where normal people wouldn't see them. Right? Mm-hmm. So I think the Hoard Dragon thing is like, Marshall is like I don't know, he's probably like a collector or something. Or like he spends a lot of time at his house looking at shiny things. The watches.
He's
right?
hoarding
That
them.
could be the connection.
He's tall like a dragon.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Therefore, he is Hoard Dragon.
His voice is majestic and like a dragon's. He has a good voice.
Yes. Like, I'm just like a fan of Marshall's. Like, yes.
Great.
If that's not clear.
All right. We'll definitely clip this and send it off to him. Just kidding.
Okay.
I mean, I'll keep this, but we're not going to send it to him. He'll
no,
I'll send him the timestamp of this interview.
I think he knows. Like, I think I've said multiple times on stream that he was dreamy.
Yeah.
Marshall's so dreamy.
He is. He's just like, I don't know. He's a really cool person, and he's very neat, and he just has like a cool brain.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I like how he operates.
Yeah.
He always makes people feel comfortable. Like, that's awesome.
Except when
he's also except when he's what?
Except when he's berating them about running 41 cards.
I literally listened to an episode when he said, like, people are doing, like, stupid stuff, like running 41 cards. And I said out loud, I was like, excuse me. Like, I was
excuse me.
I felt personally victimized.
Backstory to this was when we were at a GP and Jamie registered 41 cards because she was, like, rushing and, couldn't figure out which card to cut. And then she showed Marshall her deck. And he was just, like, really... like
just trying to stifle the discomfort.
Yeah, he was just very adamant about it being wrong. He kept making fun of her for it.
So today I learned how you guys feel about 17 lands. Are you guys gonna create your own website called 41 cards or
41
something
cards
or 18 lands?
So here's my argument. Sometimes life equity is worth more than stressing about what the last cut is.
Hell yeah.
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 I run 41 cards a lot.
Well, and then you feel kind of just rebellious or something. It's look what I can do.
I like to say the optimal number of cards is 40.5 or 60.5 or whatever and because we cannot do half a card, you have to just choose round up or round down, and there's nothing wrong with that, right?
Yeah.
So
Wait until the next unset comes out. We'll get half cards.
this card counts as 0.3 cards in your deck. There you go. All right, so you got to show us the paintings. Like we cannot. You got to talk about your artistic endeavors. We have to capture this. Yeah.
Yes.
So maybe just set it up. What are you doing right now with the paintings? Like, what's the model of, like, you know, commissioning the art and like just all that stuff?
Okay, so I've been doing art ever since I was a kid. In class, so I have severe ADHD and I was just officially diagnosed at 34. But I had it the whole time. So, like, it was pretty bad, right? So I had
Focus. Art.
Oh, okay. Art always in my life. Like, my parents have like books from when I was like a kid, like, and they were so proud of me because like I drew like stuff when I was like, I don't know, very young. I always thought it looked bad though, so I was like the inner critic. But whatever. So I'm finally getting to this point where I actually really love what I'm doing. Like, I get very excited about the pieces. They look good. Like, I'm starting to be able to bring to life what is in my head. Like, and that's really cool. Because for a long time I was like, I just want to go deeper. I just want this to look better. And like, okay, so I just made this Coheed piece. I think this is like the culmination. The lighting is so bad though, but like, can you see like the depth and stuff in here? Hold on.
Yeah, I can see it. I can see it. Yeah,
I feel like it doesn't look good in this lighting though.
It's a little washed out.
Yeah. But
don't worry about it. We'll fix it in post. We'll post a photo of it later. Yeah.
And then, okay, so I've been doing these commissions where I take someone's favorite album. So this one was for Bright Eyes, Fevers and Mirrors, the album. So what I do is I do the whole painting on stream. I'll do the background with acrylic paint, and then I do paint pens on top. So I do the background, and then I blow dry it. So you literally watch paint dry on my stream for a little bit, which is kind of weird. But yeah, then I do it all like within an hour. So this was...
So you listen to the album and
I interpret it.
So you're listening to the album like just within that hour, or you listen to it first and then you paint?
No, just immediately.
It's like your reaction to the album.
So it's weird because, well, not weird, but it's cool because like albums that I'm familiar with, I feel like you can see like the the Lady Gaga one was so good. That was my favorite one so far, but it's already mailed out. Yeah, I sent it away. Like I didn't want to give that one up because I just got like so attached. But like I have other pieces. Like this one's really interesting. We're going to Vegas, and the person that got this one, they're like, don't say anything about the album. Don't look it up. Like, I'm going to tell you the story in Vegas. Like, you're going to be shocked. Like, this is awesome. So I did this one. What was the album? Do you remember?
Am I allowed to say?
You can say, yeah.
It also says
we can say it's going to come out after Vegas.
Oh,
so
yes. It's Corellia is the band, and that album is Nostalgia. But I remember, like, I was manic when I did this one.
Yes, you were very manic.
And I was like...
She also thought that somehow secretly that was my band.
Well, okay, because the drums are, like, very intense, and, like, they sound like the drummer that you had, Matt, like your friend Matt. And then the vocals sound a lot like him. When I'm manic, like, people, like, a lot of music does sound like he's singing.
Okay. So there's just a heightened sense of whatever it is. Like, things get really amplified in some ways. Right. Okay. Yeah, I mean, how many of these paintings have you done so far? These commissioned works?
For the commissions, about 10, and then somebody just reached out and they were like, "I would want to do like 5 or 10. Like, I just want to decorate this room with these." And I'm like, "That's like a bulk order. Like, what? That's so cool." Like, I can't describe how awesome it feels to do these. Like, it feels easy. It feels natural. It feels fun. It feels like it's what I'm supposed to be doing, and I feel like everything's falling into place in my life, even like after all the struggle and stuff.
What was the inspiration for wanting to do these commission works? Like, was there a particular thing that came up, or just one day you thought you wanted to do it?
You started with the cards.
Okay, so I did altars, because one day Jon was like, well, this one's for J-Bro, because he likes Mangle Dangle. That's what he calls it. I don't like that one though. Can I show you different ones?
Sure, but here's an example. Like, I had been telling her for a while she should do magic-inspired art, because you could sell that sort of thing. Magic people like magic things.
That's true.
So then she got these paint pens, which kind of opened up the world of being able to easily paint on cards. So she started doing basic lands, just painting over the art.
Okay.
Then we set up.
So
a
what
website
happened? You thought
selling-
that the canvas was too small. You needed to go bigger. Oh, nice.
Yeah. Well, I'd been painting for so long. After we graduated college, I worked at an art center in Reading. That's where I'm from, like Eastern Pennsylvania originally. And there's this art center called the Goggle Works. I was working there, and like I just wanted to make art. Like that was how I dealt with my anxiety and my like stuff. I would just paint every day, and it would like help me like work through things. I put music on. I did this one Led Zeppelin song over and over and over again because my brain likes that sort of thing. John always is like, why do you just listen to one song? I'm like, I don't know. It just lights up the dopamine in the right way. So then, yeah, I did one and sold it. I sold a bunch of paintings. I worked at this, I had 2 jobs. I was working at the AAA, and my boss at the time was super supportive. She's like, I love your art, bring it in. So I bring it in. I literally was selling paintings out of my like car trunk. Like people would just buy them. It was so weird. So I sold like 76 paintings in a year or something. And I did like a bunch of, I did a couple shows. I did some out here when I moved out. And then I don't know, like when I'm depressed, it's really hard to make art. It's really hard to do anything. So I just sort of like took a break for a while, but yeah, I got back into it. Like he was like, you should do magic cards. And here I am.
It was the paint pens.
The paint pens are excellent.
It's
oh my gosh.
Like the convenience, I think, that
Well,
helped you.
it helps me like do the detail and stuff. Like with the brush, it's like very uncomfortable for me to try to like maneuver it the way I want it to be when it's fine detail.
Right. Sometimes you just need the right tools to be like just a little bit easier, and then it just unlocks a ton of stuff, right?
Yeah. That's exactly what I felt like. It felt like it unlocked things, and like things just like started coming together. And then with the album project, I was like, I think this would be really cool to listen like somebody's favorite album and like just see what happens.
That's actually quite creative. Like, is it just you just thought of that one day, or like?
Yeah, I guess. Like, I don't really remember the process.
I mean, you would always listen to certain albums and paint.
It's true. I listen to a lot of Coheed.
So you probably just thought.
Okay, is that your favorite artist, Coheed?
Yes, I'm a huge fan. Like, I've seen them like 6 times. The very first time we went to go see them in concert, I wore flip-flops because I didn't know better. He let me go into a Coheed concert in freaking flip-flops.
I actually don't know what's wrong with going to a Coheed concert in flip-flops.
Okay, well, thank you.
Like,
so
is
when I
there
grew
like
up,
a lot of spittle, or is there
No.
like is it rain all the time, or what?
Yeah, but
Well, so I went to concerts when I was lived with my parents. They would take me to concerts where you would just sit. You would sit and watch, and it was nice. And then so we went to this one, and it was at this like skate park or something.
it was at a roller derby arena, which was a really weird place for a show.
It was cool. But I walk in flip-flops, and at Coheed concerts, you just like everybody kind of like is very close. Like you just like you like get all scrunched, and like you kind of like sway and stuff. And like if you need like a chiropractic adjustment, you'll probably get one there for free. Like people just kind of like, oh god, and you're just like up in each other's business, and you're all sweaty and like
It's packed and people push, and the crowd kind of
Yeah.
goes in waves.
But it's really fun, and like it's like I don't know how to describe it. But if you're trying to keep your shoes on, it's hard. It's really hard. Like
I see. So you can lose your flip-flops in the
Definitely.
movements. Okay.
And I didn't know she had flip-flops on until we got there. And I'm like, you're wearing flip-flops?
you just didn't tell me. Like, how was I supposed to know? It was summer. Like that. I just always wore flip-flops.
How was I supposed to know that you'd never been to a real concert before?
I don't know. I just found out the hard way. And
Was
that's
there
the
was
first
there also moshing at the concert? Like just people
Yeah.
getting wild? Okay.
But not really moshing, but like people move around a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah. And they just like they get super close. Like it's It's at every Coheed concert. Some other concerts are like that too, but I don't know. Coheed's like really special. Like,
Yeah, Coheed's one of the few bands from that era who still has like a fun crowd. Like I used to go to a lot of kind of like punk shows in the early 2000s, and that's what a lot of shows felt like back then.
Yeah.
like everybody's even okay. So they do like the mosh pit and stuff, but if somebody like falls, they help them back up right away and like, are you all right?
That's like every mosh pit.
Well, I thought mosh pits were not like that.
No, the friendliest place on earth is a mosh pit.
Spoken like a real musician. I like that. Yeah. Man, I can't remember the last time I went to a live concert. Like, do you guys still go to live concerts quite a bit?
Yeah.
We just went to who was it?
The Contortionists.
They were pretty good.
Okay.
They were great.
Okay, but yes.
Yeah, and then before that was Coheed, right?
Yeah,
Where
we got COVID.
We got COVID.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
And I'm not going to say it was worth it, but if anything was worth it, it was that show. Because their new album is, like, insane. It's so good. I've listened to it, like, 100 times already. And, like, some of the songs, like, more than that. I sing in the shower. I love to sing in the shower. So it's always, I have this, like, shower playlist. And it's, like, very specific. Lots of Coheed on it.
Excellent. Excellent. I got to get one of your commissions. I even though there's no way for me to get the actual art, I would love for you to just do one. Like, I'm in China, so I don't even know how easy it is to mail stuff over here.
Can I not send them there?
I mean, you could.
Like, there's a customs for it.
There's a long customs process. Like, Wizards has tried to send me stuff, and it's gotten like just trapped for months before I finally got it.
Oh gosh!
But I'm actually going back to North America in the next like 1 to 2 months. So maybe I don't know how busy you are with your commissions, but like maybe if it lines up, you could get it sent to the U.S. or a Canadian address or something. I have no idea. So all right, yeah. That's pretty much it. I don't know. I kind of ran out of questions here. Yeah, I mean, it's just really great talking to the both of you, and thank you for agreeing to do this.
Yeah.
Did we hit enough tangents?
I'm a tangent person. I think tangents are interesting.
I love tangents, man. I think I was telling somebody, like, I think my podcast should just be called Tangents of Magic, because, like I told you guys before we started recording, like, if we just talked about Magic, the episode would be a complete failure. Like, that's not what I'm about. I'm not here to, like, do some sort of, like, 17 lands draft guide with you. Like, I love this stuff. I love just, I want people to listen to this and just be like, oh, this is who Jamie and Jon are as people. Like, I hope that people can watch or listen to this and kind of get a sense. And I think we kind of reached that goal, if you will. So I love it. So, yeah.
Cool.
So, last question for you, Jamie. What is the best place for people to find you on the internet, or where you would like to be found?
Oh, well, I'm always on Twitch and Twitter and those are both at Jamie Topples. Please hold me to this. I want to make a TikTok where I do time lapse videos of my stuff, because it's really cool. Like, paintings. Yes. I was pointing to the painting, but that doesn't.
So the TikTok is coming in the future. You will get that.
I think so. I think it would be really cool. So my friend Melvin showed me an example of what it would look like, and it's awesome. Like, I don't really know how I do it so fast. Like, it just kind of happens.
It's amazing that he can edit videos with those tiny hands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
impressive.
Can't even separate his fingers.
Maybe he outsources to his cousin. Is it the blue one or the red one? Maybe they have better.
The
hands.
red one is Sullivan. Melvin's the blue mage, yeah. And then TJ's also a Muppet. That's kind of the joke.
Yeah, well,
I am too.
Okay.
Are
you you're an honorary Muppet? Is that the idea?
think so. I mean, I do flail a lot.
Okay. Okay, actually I lied. There's one more question.
Okay.
What your nickname, right? You have how many nicknames do you have?
I don't know.
Don't you have yeah. So like, how did you get your nickname? Was it like something that like people gave to you, or did you christen yourself that, or what?
Well, sort of. So I am very clumsy. Like, I'm always just like not very aware of where my body is. Like, I hit my limbs on things, my head on things, my back, everything.
She falls down a lot.
I do. I just like, I lose my balance and like fall over. I just get like very startled easily. Like one time we have these like cat tubes and he just like hid in one in the hallway, like by standing in it. Like he wasn't really hiding. And I come out and I'm like, did I like fall over?
Yeah.
Like I just was like, I don't know. I get like really surprised because I guess I've been living in my head for a long time, and that's a big part of it, right? So I just get like distracted. So Topples comes from being clumsy, like topple over. But then I didn't realize how close it was to like the forbidden joke is what we call it on my channel. Like it's very close to topless.
Oh, I never made that connection.
Right. Like I never did either, but a lot of people were like, oh, it looks similar. So like I don't know. In the beginning it was a lot. And
It's still a fair amount of
yeah. And so I'm just
people
like,
who are like,
have you ever just
why aren't you topless?
right? Like,
Oh my god!
I'm just like,
I've never thought about that. Oh,
yeah.
what kind of perverts on the internet? I'm just kidding.
Well, like, there's nothing wrong with it either. Like, there's no judgment. It's just like I'm playing Magic on Twitch.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like maybe 3 months into her streaming that someone alerted us to this fact, and we're like, it's too late to change the name.
And it probably wasn't, right? Like, I probably could have rebranded at that point. But, like, it's cute. I like Topples. Like, that's what Olivia calls me. Like, I think it's a cute nickname, and yeah.
Mm-hmm. So that's not your actual last name, right? That's your like your artistic name, pen name.
Yeah. My last name's Rigatti, and that's what he goes by on Twitch is Rigatti. So if you see Rigatti in
Wait, that's my last name.
chat saying sassy things, that's him.
Are you? So you're both Italian? Like the heritage is Italian?
Well, we're married, so she took my last name.
Yeah.
Okay, so
not-
Jon is Italian. You're Italian by heritage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
You can tell because my name sounds like a pasta.
Yes.
It's pretty easy.
Okay. How fluent is your Italian?
0. I don't know. Have you seen Inglourious Bastards? I speak it about as well as Brad Pitt in that movie.
Okay. Okay. That's a good answer. So Jamie, Jon, thank you so much for doing this with me today. I really, really appreciate it. I hope you and your cats and dog have a great rest of the evening where you are.
Thanks.
Thank you.
It was fun.
This was great.